Castlevania, Order of Ecclesia. World, honestly pretty good. I actually quite like the little, almost stage-based nature of the game, mixing things up compared to the last few, just because, you know, one big castle through Aria, or like Symphony of the Night, Aria of Sorrow, Dawn of Sorrow. If they just did a big castle again, it'd get a little plain. The village is pretty nice, it's a decent place to go back and have a couple little side quests to do. All the locations seem neat. There was a couple little, like palette swaps of places, and you can definitely see where they reused the, where they reused certain room tiles. That's not a bad thing. It's a good-sized world. And Dracula's castle is still pretty good. Honestly, pretty good. I'm a fan. Story-wise, I don't know, you play as an autistic chick who's kind of hot. The dude who's evil turns out not actually evil. The guy who's not evil turns out actually evil. But I do just like the idea of showing up to Dracula's castle after he's resurrected and has no idea what's going on. Being like, I will stop you, and it's like, what's going on? I woke up 5 minutes ago. But yeah, Albus was good. I do think that he was weirdly sinister about everything when he didn't need to be. But also I don't think Shanoa would have trusted Albus with, if he did tell her the truth. So, like, I don't know, it's a decent story. It's not anything special. For a Castlevania game, pretty good. Characters, again, Dracula's great. Death is still death. Religion was evil, who knew? Albus was good, Shanoa. I don't know. My sweet little autistic girl stopped being autistic by the end. God bless. So I think mostly just because of Dracula. I'm gonna put 8 out of 10, just because him just being like, yeah, sure, I'll fucking fight you. Let's dance. I don't care. Why not? Let's have it. Let's make a time at this. I don't know who you are, but I'm in. I like that. I like that Dracula. He's funny. Gameplay-wise, the boss fights in, like, the first half were really one note. I think it was around the time of fighting the giant Frankenstein dude who did the stompies and then... I think it started to turn around there. Like, the death fight was good. Dracula fight was good. The weird horse monster, Igiro, I don't remember what his name was. Ego Waffle. He was interesting. I like the idea of multi-stage boss fights like that, where you, like, move amongst the creature. I don't quite like multi-stage boss fights like that where you can get sent back to previous stages. But also, I don't think it'd be as interesting of a boss fight if it was just like, you break his knees, on to the next bit. So I don't know. I think with me just trying to get through the game, I kind of drag that down a bit. But yeah, the combo system was really weird to work with for a long time. And the problem with it is they still have, like, the total swing time for weapons, like other Castlevania games. And so you have, like, the rapier, which is super quick, so you can just and spam out hits with the combo system, which is really nice. But then the slower weapons, because you've gotten used to the fast ones, the slow ones trip me up so badly. Like, that was my biggest problem half the time, was just, I'd be used to a fast weapon, and then I swap to, like, I don't know, the big hammer, or the pickaxe, or the scythe, or something. And suddenly I'm doing way less damage than I would in, like, Aria or Dawn of Sorrow, because the game is built around the combo system. But then you get some better weapons, you get stronger ones, you get different types of weapons, you get the big rock fist, and you start fisting some nuts. So by the end, I think the combo system is pretty cool. Other than that, enemies are all good. It's still the system of, like, hey, sometimes the enemy drops a spell, but, you know, you mix it up a little bit. And I think I wasn't a fan of the idea of attacks using MP, but I also think it's a good way to balance out the player's damage, because combos can let you do way more damage. And so you limit that with the MP system, where you make the player have to back away from the fight a little bit, if they use it all. And like against the Chinese zombie thing, I was just spamming potions, because it's like, I need you to die before you have 7 balls on screen, because I can't escape that. Yeah, no, gameplay was good, bosses were alright and then good. The world was good. I appreciate the little quests to give you side things to look for. And even with the stage-based system, there was still, like, things to find once you got double jump, once you got faster movement speed, once you got the wings. So it was still all the usual Castlevania-y goodness. Honestly, in the end, pretty good game. It has the rings that are really stupid. It has some weird-ass side stuff, like the break all these boxes, and then steal the cube, and then the cubes don't infinitely regenerate, and then you break it, and then you get a ring that's real stupid. Actually, yeah, that's a good point. How many kills am I at total? After I beat the game, 1,800. So the Justice Ring, I think it was the Justice Ring, needing 102,000 kills to max out is fucking insane. Who is doing that? You know, let me go on YouTube. Someone's done it. Order of Ecclesia maxed Justice Ring. Getting Cubus in the Justice Ring? No. I found all the blue chests in the game. Neat. I am not finding a single thing saying they maxed out the Justice Ring. The most I'm seeing people talk about is just getting it. That's kind of funny. Oh yeah, does this game have a boss rush? Curious what it gives. It has 2 courses. First one contains every boss fought before getting into Dracula's castle. Second one contains every boss fought inside Dracula's castle. So 4 bosses. Neat. If you beat it in less than 4 minutes, both of the courses, you get the left and right eyes of God and Devil. These are not worth it. The left eye of God lets you see enemies' HP, so when you hit them, you see the remaining HP, not the damage you dealt. For the right eye of Devil, it just slows the game down. Okay. Meanwhile, if you beat it in more than 4 minutes, you get a different helm that replaces your powered-up attack. So it just lets you choose which union glyph you'd want to use. Those are kind of lame. I like the RPG. Give me more RPGs. Yeah, music, 10 out of 10. Castlevania games, always good music. Always. Lengthwise, I don't know, I'd say it's pretty good. It has the usual things. You have your Albus mode, you have hard mode, which hard mode would fucking blow. I do not want to know how that goes. You have boss rush, so you have your usual, like, side character, extra difficulty, boss rush. The usual bits of side content at this point. Again, I think the locations are pretty good, and having reasons to go back and look for more stuff is nice. Finding all the villagers is a good way to kind of pad it out with the good ending compared to the bad ending. And having the large cavern is like a very post-game content kind of thing that you can replay, which is nice. Just like the Den of Evil, I think, could be replayed from Portrait of Ruin. I think, at least. Yeah, no, I think it's a solid length. Jank-wise, there was a couple of things. Clipping through enemies, clipping through just stuff. There was that one where, no, Cave Troll, where he just moved at like half speed for some reason. And I don't know why. I don't know if it was something I was hitting him with, but he just did not respond properly. But yeah, I'd say like a 5 out of 10. Dracula's grab. Fucking Soul Steal? Absolutely wild. That thing hit from space. I'm telling you, Dracula was cheating. Dracula was absolutely cheating. But all in all, I think this is a very solid Castlevania game, and a solid game to end out the DS trilogy. I think the one thing that I would change if I could is just making the menu to swap out your glyphs less annoying. I don't know how I'd do it, but just that menu sucked. Especially at the end of the game, once you just had too many glyphs. I think the biggest thing is, I can't think of a reason why you need lower damage. So having Hasta, the spear glyph, and then Vol Hasta, I feel like you don't need Hasta anymore. Maybe there's something where, like, you need to deal a low amount of damage, but if there's not, just replace Hasta with Vol Hasta. If the moves are functionally identical, swap them out. You can keep things like, I don't think it's called Fulgor, but the lightning spell. Regular lightning and Vol lightning do 2 different things. It's not just more damage. So for something like that, you can keep each version of it, or even make it so that it's, like, the full list is just each type. So you have, like, the spear, the knife, the axe, the sword, the rapier, and then you click that, and then it pulls up a little sub-menu that gives you a choice of all the ones you have. And if you don't have any, it just picks that one. But yeah, like, I think that menu needs to be compressed. And I think that's one of, like, the biggest problems that I have with it. But that's not that big a problem. I do think the damage on late game stuff gets a bit silly. Like, a lot of the times, most of the difficulty felt like it was coming from the enemy hitting me and doing half my health. But at the same time, I got through it. I don't know. With enough time and energy. Enough focus. I could still beat it even if I didn't have the rewind and whatnot. But yeah, no, I think a very, very solid Castlevania game. Pretty big fan of it. I enjoyed it. Now the question is, do I feel like playing something else for a couple hours? Do I feel like starting the next one? Am I feeling like starting Lords of Shadow? Do I save that for another day? I'm trying to think, do I have stuff to work on? I think the biggest thing is I need to piss. Yeah, I think maybe I'll just end here now. And, you know, work on a couple things. Probably clean some things up. Maybe head to bed a little early. But yeah, that'll be it for me. Thank you to everyone who stopped by. Have a good one, and I hope to see you next time. Bye-bye!